Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into the video. So, I struggle to find my own style. This is the topic for today's video. So, if you've watched the last video, this is kind of like the little cartoon characters that I have been making recently, and it was so fun the last video, so I decided to do it again and explain a little bit of the creative process that went into this. So, as I previously mentioned before in the last video, um, while I was working in my trash sketchbook, which is basically just a sketchbook where I work out unpolished ideas in, I was practicing trying to come up with my own style, and that's not semi-realism or realism. Also try to find my style that kind of like doesn't reflect anything that I've seen before, because I wanted to make something original. And honestly, in this day and age, that's kind of hard to do when a lot of different things have already been done before, or you know, even though I've personally never seen somebody draw in this style that I am drawing in this video, I'm pretty sure other artists have already done so. So that's one thing that I had to come to terms with, that it's kind of hard to be completely 100% original. But anyways, I was drawing cartoon characters, and this style kept popping up in my sketchbook. And I was liking how some of them turned out, so I decided to do a sketchbook spread of these little character people that I've been drawing and kind of make it look all sketchbooky like. If you wonder how it turned out, you can look at the last video that I upload, or I'll like suggest it on this video so you can go and watch it later or right now, I don't know. But I went ahead and took the sketches that I had in my trash sketchbook, and I drew it out in this sketchbook, my main sketchbook, and I kind of just went with it with colorful colors, because also, as I said in my other video, that I don't really play around with crazy vibrant colors. Most of my colors are like monotone or analogous, or like they're very not washed out, but what is the word? I'll probably put it on the screen. But it's the opposite of vibrant. So I wanted to do something vibrant this time around to kind of change it up a little bit, because I was getting a little bored with what I normally do. Like, well, not bored, because I love what I normally do. It's just that I don't like the feeling that I'm starting to like default in my art. Like, there's nothing wrong with what I normally like to do. It's just I don't like I feel like when I start defaulting and just doing what I normally do always, then I feel like I'm not growing as an artist, because I just, I always feel like I could be more creative. So this was to challenge that, and it was pretty fun, you know? And when I finished the other page in the last video that I made, it had got me thinking, like, did I want this to be like one of my personal styles that I have? But then I was wondering, is this even really my style, or did I just kind of, was this a fluke, or like, I don't know. So then I went and started watching videos and looking up websites online and blogs and stuff on like, how do you find your art style? And what I found was basically your art style kind of comes out when you make a lot of art, and then you go through all of your art and see what type of things that kind of just stick out in all your art. So maybe you draw eyes a certain way all the time and you didn't realize it, or Like that's how you find your art style. And I feel like I've made a lot of art, and I look through them, and a lot of it does kind of look the same. And that was part of the problem, is that I felt like I was defaulting. So I was like, okay, is this my art style, or is this just me defaulting and not exploring more ways of making art? Because for me, I took a lot of like art history classes and art study classes, and I've looked at a lot of different art pieces because of those classes and on my free time, and I pretty much feel like I like every art movement that there's ever been. So that's like Renaissance art, that's Baroque period art, that's neoclassicism art, that's distill art, that's abstract art, impressionists, expressionists, realists, surrealists, you know, all these different styles, and contemporary art, which is the art movement of today, and all the different styles that are, popular today. All these different art styles. There's more, but I didn't list them, but there's all these different styles, and there's always art pieces from all these different art movements and styles that I just like. And normally with art styles, you study these pieces, and then whatever sticks out to you that you like the most, you incorporate it into your own art. So for me personally, how can I take aspects from all these different art styles and movements and then condense it down into one? At this point in my art journey, I realized that I can't. Maybe one day in the future I could, but at this point in time, I realized that I cannot do that. So then the question is do I really need an art style, or should I just focus on making art that I want to make? Because while doing my research, a lot of blogs say that you don't really need an art style to create art. An art style is mostly used for when you're trying to market yourself. So then when you're trying to sell your art, or, sell your skills and all of that, your skills kind of stick out to people. So then, like when you look at a Van Gogh painting, you know it's Van Gogh. Or when you look at a Picasso painting, you know it's Picasso. Having an art style is really just to market your art. It's easier to do that too, but I realize that I can't do that. My love for art is very eclectic. I like way too many things, and it can be hard to condense it down into one. Kind of like music. I basically love all type of musics, all type of genre. Like literally, you like today's music, I like it. I like old music from in the past. I like all type of genres. I even like traditional music, like cultural music of different cultures and stuff. I like that music. Like my music taste is also very eclectic, and it's really hard for me to just pick one and stick with it. Like I can't do that. So how can I expect myself to do that with my art, So I basically say this as a reminder to me that I do not need to have an art style. And honestly, trying to force myself to find one kind of ruins the art process for me as well, along with other things that I've mentioned in like some of my past videos. This ruins it for me because it's kind of like I'm trying to force myself into a box that I do not want to be in, And to you guys watching this, if you also don't have an art style, I want you to know it's okay to not have one. You don't have to have an art style. You can just make art that you like. Whatever grabs your attention, You can still challenge yourself. Like you don't, Try anything when it comes to art. Anything you want to do it. When anything you want to try it. If you see something you feel like you can recreate it for yourself, do that then. Test your skills, test your creativity. What can you add to it? Make it different. You do not have to force yourself into one particular style if that is not you. Now, there's nothing wrong with people who do have styles of their own. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, it's okay to also not have a style. Do not feel like you have to measure up to what other people are doing. It's okay to compare your art if you want to see what you can improve or add to your art, to expand your creativity. But don't feel like you have to do what other artists are doing. It's your art journey, not theirs. You're expressing yourself, not somebody else. And the most important thing of all is that you should be having fun. Because if you're not having fun with your art or whatever it is that you create or do, then you can expect for that to reflect in whatever it is that you do. If you're not having fun, then your art won't be fun. If you're not having fun doing whatever it is you do, then it will not be fun. It'll feel more like a chore, and that's not what we want. What we want is to like what we create. Just like I loved how this page turned out. It actually ended up mashing very well with the other page that I did. It complements each other very well. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you, especially if you've watched this far. Leave a like if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.